Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a new feature in the Helsinki release of ServiceNow, and that's integration with GitHub for source code control. Hi, I'm Christopher Morgan from Stave. What this integration allows you to do is take code that you're developing within a ServiceNow instance and upload it to the GitHub platform for storing and sharing source code that you develop across languages. You can then take that source code and download it into a separate instance of ServiceNow. And you can actually upload and download from multiple instances without any limitations. So we're going to start with the app that I actually developed. I thought it would be useful to have a link within any instance of ServiceNow that allowed users to access the ServiceNow store. So I created a simple application to do that. I made this application available on Share and on GitHub. So you can download the completed app on Share after you watch this video, or you can get the source code by linking to the GitHub repository. Again, the name of that application is just called ServiceNow Store Link. Let's start off by going into GitHub. You can see my profile page, and you can see some other applications that I've developed and hosted on the platform. Let's create a new source code repository. A repository is just the term for a new project here. We're going to click the new button and we're going to call this ServiceNow Store Link, and we'll create that repository. Now you can see an empty new repository has been created and we're given a unique URL to access it. Let's just copy that to our clipboard. Now the fun part, developing the application. I'm going to go into my instance and access Studio to build the application, and I'm going to create a new application on the right and create an application from scratch. I'm going to give it a name, and this has to be unique, and it's also going to have a scope. You'll see our Stave scope there. Just hit create to create the basis of the app. Now inside Studio, I'm going to go under Source Control and link it to Source Control. And I'm going to enter in that unique URL from GitHub as well as my credentials, the username and password I use to access my GitHub account, and link to that source control. So I'm going to sync the blank project and then go back over into GitHub, do a quick refresh, and sure enough I can see that the repository has been updated. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of the details of how I built my application, but with any application you're probably going to go back and forth for testing and adding features, so let's go through the process of how to update the GitHub repository. Let's go back into Studio, go under the source control, and commit some changes. So these are changes that I've previously made. I'm going to give them a commit message, and it's always a good idea to do that. And now when you commit, you're syncing these changes from the ServiceNow instance into the GitHub repository, so you're making those updates there. When we switch back to GitHub and refresh, sure enough we can see that the new source code has been added. And I can actually click into one of the lines and see the actual code in ServiceNow used to make this app. You'll notice it's a series of XML definitions as we'd expect. Now to recap, what we did was take our development from a ServiceNow instance and upload it into GitHub. That's actually only half the story, however. Now what we'd like to do is take the code from GitHub and download it into a new separate instance of ServiceNow. So I'm going to go into a different instance and go back into Studio. This time I'm going to open an application on the left and import it from source code. I'm going to put the same GitHub URL and the same credentials and import that application from the repository. It looks like it's loaded. Just to confirm, I'm going to go over into my system applications and see if it has entered the instance. I do see the app listed there under the system applications, so let's see if it's actually in the navigator. Sure enough, there's my application, the ServiceNow Store link. I'll click the link and it takes me to the ServiceNow Store, which is what the app's supposed to do. Thanks for watching the video. Again, this GitHub integration is a new feature of the ServiceNow Helsinki release. At Stave, we love applications and we love building them in ServiceNow, so we really appreciate this feature. If you'd like to learn more about applications in ServiceNow or ServiceNow in general, shoot us an email or visit our website, www.staveapps.com. Thanks for watching. This is Christopher Morgan from Stave. Have a great day.